Welcome to the Hyper Growth Zone podcast. This is your go-to resource for personal growth, mastering communication, and influencing and persuasion techniques that will help you unleash the full potential of yourself and others. Here is your host, Alex Morgan.
Welcome everyone to another episode of the Hyper Growth Zone podcast. My name is Alex Morgan, and I'm a master trainer of hypnosis and NLP. And this is the first episode of 2024. So welcome everyone if you haven't listened to the podcast yet. And this is going to be a great episode. And just so you know, I already have 4 guests lined up for upcoming episodes. So look out for those. Of course, I'll have a few as well along the year, just myself speaking. So if you prefer guests or just myself, go ahead and make sure to let me know. Leave a review about the podcast so I know what you prefer. So this episode, it's going to be all about showing that this year you can have it all. Now, many people, they have a belief that they don't deserve it, or they're not good enough, they can't make enough money, they can't have what they want. Now, why not allow this to be a year where you can truly have it all? Or you deserve it all, or you deserve it all and more, to where you really start to think big and think bigger. Because if you think about it, there's no point in limiting yourself in any way because you were born limitless. Now you have an opportunity to be limitless again, and the way you can do that is truly deserving it all and more. Now, if you don't have exactly what you want yet, maybe there's a bit of a gap here to really having it all and more. So what you need to think about is, what can you do every single day? Small little things. That's why this is the hyper growth zone. Most people, they spend most of their time in the comfort zone. However, this leads to the same results. So think about this year. What can you do each day? Small steps or big steps, small risks or big risks that'll get you to the growth zone and the hyper growth zone, where you can truly achieve it all and more. Now, what does that mean, all and more? Well, whatever success means to you, that's for you to decide. Success is going to mean something different for me. It's going to mean something different with the clients that I work with, the students that I have, and it's going to mean something different for you. So deserving it all and more is going to be something completely different for you. It could totally be different, because what if you aren't in a relationship compared to if you already are in one? Or if you have a job and you want to grow a business, or you already have your business and you wanted to achieve a certain thing. However, when we talk about deserving it all and more, we're talking about not just business, not just money, not just relationships. We're talking about everything. So you can truly deserve it all and more in business, in your job, in your career, with your family, your relationships, your health, your fitness, your spirituality, your personal development, any area of life. This is what you need to focus on. This year, you need to focus on taking small steps, because when you take small steps in business, guess what? Your business starts to grow. And then once your business starts to grow, you think, wow, this is pretty amazing. I can have many areas of my life now grow. So you need to also learn to keep a balance, because once your business starts to grow, you'll also want to do some different things within your business. However, make sure when you're deserving it all and more that everything is ecological to you. So as your business, is that going to be good for the people around you, your immediate family, your important relationships? Because part of deserving it all and more, and getting it all and more, and achieving all and more, is making sure that everyone around you is benefiting. So you are benefiting. The people closest to you are benefiting. The community around you is benefiting. And even if you want to think big enough, you can think that the planet is also benefiting from everything that you're doing. And so if you're concerned about this, like I said, start off small. However, if you're already deserving many things and you have a lot of good things and you're already having momentum this year from last year, you're going to build more things. So there's many ways, of course, that you can deserve it all and more. You can build all these things in different areas of your life. And I'm going to share a couple different ways that you can think about this, how you can really expand your thinking to think about this. Now, when I first got into NLP and hypnosis and all of these things, someone told me a story. They said, look, If you truly want to deserve it all and more, then you don't really have to make choices so much anymore. They said, let me tell you something. When I first started this, I was essentially living in a basement and I didn't even have money to pay the rent. And I took a training and I did the training and I achieved a lot of things that I wanted to achieve, and I, went in, made some more money. Then I went to go do another training and I was a bit skeptical. And this person, they told, the person I'm telling the story about, they said, well, why are you thinking that you won't achieve if you take this training? And it was much more expensive, so it was stretching them a lot. And they said, yeah, that makes sense. So by them not making that investment, by them not making that commitment to themselves, they were then delaying their success. So sometimes when you're doing things, even if it's stretching you a bit, we need to ask ourselves, why delay? Because sometimes if we're delaying, and it could be with anything, investing in ourselves, fixing a problem, trying to take a risk, or networking with people, building relationships, starting at the gym, whatever it is, if we're delaying, we're essentially telling our unconscious mind that those results, those aren't important to us yet. So if in our mind we're thinking that we're delaying and we're not going to do that training, or we're not going to meet that person or talk to that person or whatever it is, then it's like we're looking in a mirror at ourselves and we're delaying our success. So if you really want to deserve it all and more, you need to take risks. You need to take action. You don't want to delay. You want to jump in. I'm not saying that whatever money you have, spend it all on investing in yourself right now. No, that's not the case. You also need to be smart. You need to make sure that certain things are taken care of. However, you can always make more money. However, we have a limited amount of time. So how much time do you want to delay instead of achieving it all and more? So that's one way to look at it. Why delay? There's no sense in delaying anymore. Maybe you already delayed these things until this year. So now it's time to stop delaying and start doing something about it. And if you need help doing something about it, go ahead and check out how you can contact me down in the description and reach out and we can have a chat about this. Another way to think about this that someone told me, if you want to truly deserve it all and more, and I thought this was really cool. What's cool is you don't have to think in either or so much. So what does this mean? This means that you don't have to look at you having choices and you have to choose one or the other. So once you start really thinking in this mindset that you deserve it all and more, and that you really matter, and that you can really achieve anything, if you think about it, if you go to, let's say, buy something, and it can be something as small as, let's say, a pair of shoes, and you're like, hey, I deserve a new pair of shoes, because when we achieve something, we should celebrate. We should reward our unconscious mind with a reward. So it's going to want more and more of that. So let's say you signed a new client, or you built a new relationship, or you achieved a fitness goal, anything in any area of your life, and you want to reward yourself. What if you go to the shoe store and you like 2 pairs of shoes and you're like, I told myself I could only get one. However, if you have the thinking of you deserve it all and more, why do you have to choose? Why can't you just get both of them? It doesn't need to be one or the other so much. So live this year really showing yourself that you deserve it all and more, that you don't have to make these choices so much anymore. This will get your unconscious mind used to achieving big things and even bigger things, because then you can have even bigger rewards. For example, someone I know in the coaching field, they'll have clients, and the clients, they go and achieve huge goals. And they'll want to, give them like something like a Ferrari for achieving the goal, or reward themselves something along those lines of a very luxurious car, and give one to the coach as well. So imagine how big that goal must be, where they can just give a car because they really think they deserve it all and more. That's really the difference. If you have belief in yourself, you can truly achieve anything that you set your mind to. And that means you won't have to make these choices. Because yes, it starts off with a pair of shoes. However, it gets to the point where I do know people where they've gone to the car dealership, same situation as the shoes. They want to reward themselves for achieving something. And they saw 2 cars. And they thought, why do I have to choose between these 2 cars? I truly deserve it all and more. I'm going to take both the cars. And so they would go and they would buy both of the cars. So think of this year rewarding yourself, rewarding your unconscious mind, because your unconscious mind will get used to that success. It'll want things. I'm not saying you have to stretch yourself, of course. Do something that pushes you, though. Don't do something that makes you feel completely comfortable. Do something that pushes your mind further. Because once your mind expands, it won't want to go back to the same thinking that it had before. That's the amazing thing. Once you really start thinking, wow, I deserve 2 pairs of shoes. I deserve 2 cars. Why do I only have to go on 1 vacation this year? I can go on 2 or 3. I deserve it. Your mind will get used to this, and it won't ever want to think in more of a scarcity mindset again. It will want to think in abundance. It will want to think that it deserves it all and more. This is the amazing thing, is once you expand your mind, it wants to continue thinking that way day after day. And another way to think about this, so deserving it all and more, we don't want it to be difficult for you. I don't want it to be difficult for me. Now, of course, there's going to be different things that happen along the way. Maybe you see it as a challenge or breakthrough. However, when you think of things as a challenge or a breakthrough, guess what? That means there's actually some resistance there. So instead of thinking of those things as challenges or breakthroughs or obstacles, think of it as a new opportunity, a new possibility, or just something that you simply deserve. And this will make it so it's not difficult, because when you put the effort in your mind, when you have this thinking, and I've talked about this on many episodes, when you have this thinking and you put the effort in your mind, things are going to seem simple and easy for you. So you want to let your unconscious mind know that things are automatic, that they're natural, that things are going to be easy, and they're going to be effortless for you. So when I'm working with clients, I'm always suggesting these types of things to them. Yes, you can do this. Or yes, you've already done this, because you're thinking about it. And so in order to even do something, it has to be a thought first. So the fact that they're thinking about it, they can see it as being done. So it's almost like putting that memory of it being done in their future. They just have to take a few steps to get it done. So you want things to be easy, automatic, effortless, natural for you. So deserving it all and more doesn't have to be difficult. Remember, small steps, small risks, big steps, big risks. Just because it's a big risk or a big step, it doesn't mean that it has to require tons of effort or tons of thinking or tons of stress or nothing. No. When you think that you deserve it all and more, things are going to be easy and effortless for you, because you're willing to put the effort in your mind that you already know that you deserve it all and more, that you already believe that you deserve it all and more. So when that effort has been put into your mind, things on the outside are going to come more easy for you. Because when you go to do something, you're not going to have a doubt about it. You're just going to do it because you believe in yourself. And the great thing about this is people around you, they'll start seeing that, wow, you made some big changes this year already. And you can start making these changes now, today. As you're listening to this, let this suggestion sink in, and you can already start doing it. And they're maybe even going to ask you and be curious and think, what did you do? And all you did was change your thinking. You put the effort in your mind. So anytime that you put the effort in your mind, things are going to be better for you. If you spend any time this year doing really anything for yourself, invest in yourself and put the effort in your mind, that's going to get you the biggest results. Of course, you need to focus on what you want. You need to take action. However, put that effort in your mind each and every day. If you work to change your thinking every day, soon enough, All the things that you think you deserve, they're going to get bigger. They're going to get better. It's going to feel more rewarding. You're going to have plenty of positive emotions along with this. That's one of the biggest benefits of doing this type of thing, is you get to now fill up everything and feel good. Instead of thinking bad or thinking in limitations, you're now going to be thinking and feeling good at the same time. And that's really good, because anytime you achieve something, the reason that you probably achieve it is because there's also a really good feeling that goes along with it. So you're going to feel good as you achieve these things as well. I mean, to me, that sounds amazing. So make this year, if you can. Well, you certainly can, because you're listening to this podcast. So that means you actually care and want to make things easy and effortless for you. Make this a year that you really deserve it all and more. And make sure that you're not delaying. Make sure that you don't have to choose all the time, one or the other. You can choose both. You can do it all. And once your mind expands, so now that you've listened to this episode, once your mind expands, it's all going forward from here. Use the resources that you've gained over time, that you already have inside of you, to propel you forward, because the future is going to be that much better for you now. So thanks so much for listening to this episode. Wherever you are listening, go ahead and rate the podcast so this can really sink in the minds of many other people. And again, thanks for listening, and I hope to see you on the next episode.